Good af- Good afternoon. Am I loud enough? Okay. It seems a little quiet to me up here. If there's anybody here I haven't met, I'm Damon Busco, the executive director here. Good to see everybody today. How's everybody liking this weather? It's funny at my office. The residents and visitors are coming in, and I swear 9 out of 10 of them are complaining. It's like, oh gosh, it's miserable out there, and It's it's kind of funny. But it gets a lot better tomorrow though. So just be careful out there today. We have so many residents that like to take walks down Grand Avenue. We have some residents go down to Ingersoll, which is great for well-being and all that, and just walking around our community a lot. But today, if you're one of those, just be careful if you do that or walk in one of our air-conditioned hallways. We got a lot of building you can walk around in today. Just don't want to see anyone get in a bad situation out there. So Sam is not here today. Usually I welcome everybody and kick it over to Sam, but we want to keep the tradition of clean jokes going. So yours truly is going to keep that alive and give it a shot. So whether you like my jokes or not, just act like you do, please. My first joke is, how do you measure a snake? You measure them in inches because they don't have feet. Come on. I heard someone say Sam would be very proud. What do you call a toothless grizzly? Gummy bear. Pretty good for a rookie. This one more. Well, this will test you. What did the father buffalo say when his kid left for college? Bison. Bison. Come on, it wasn't that bad. Thank you for showing me mercy. We've got Sam is out today. It's his anniversary today, so happy wife is a happy life. So he hated to miss resident update, but he's celebrating his anniversary with Leah today. And of course, Bailey is on maternity leave, and we'll talk about plan ops here when we get to my part and give you an update on that as we'll do over the next couple months while we're doing a little bit of transitioning and shifting around. But at this time, I guess we'll kick it off with Amy's update and what's going on in sales and marketing.
Thank you, Damon. All right, good afternoon. For those of you that may not know me as well, I'm Amy Bassett, sales director here. So I'll update you on some of our new residents this month. Mike Feeney moved in, and I do not see him in here right now. So if you do see him, help welcome him to Wesley. Um, Frank Gregorich is moving in today, actually. So he is brand new to our community. Be sure to welcome him as well. So traffic continues to be really busy here at Wesley on Grand, which is a great thing. So with that being said, in independent living right now, we only have one. It would be the size of a 2-bedroom unit, but it's actually a large 1-bedroom. So that second bedroom was removed. It's wide open. So it's a large 1-bedroom unit. So I've got that unit open. And then I also have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Grand as well. So that's what I have in the Grand. We have several independent living residents that have not moved in yet to those open units that are there. So I kind of wait and just introduce them once they move in. So Bolton, I only have one 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And then in Central Independent Living, I only have one 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So if you know of somebody that wants a 2-bedroom in the central area of the campus, let me know. And then assisted living, we're full right now. We are entirely full. So really good news there. Health center continues to have lots of traffic. Jeannie's busy giving skilled tours and long-term care tours. I think as of today, are we at 78 or 79? out of 80. So that's a constant there as well. So Johns Harbor is currently full, and we just have a couple units in our enhanced living. Also, for those of you that are always willing to show your home, allow me to show your home. I really, really appreciate that. That helps a lot. I had a tour recently and I was able to show a sergeant apartment, and that individual is likely going to join Early Advantage to be on that list for that sergeant unit because now she can really see how she would place her things. And then also a little bit more about the Early Advantage. I have two couples that are signing up this week to be on Early Advantage. So that's putting us way over what they budgeted us for the year. So that's really good news. Those are individuals that are ready to move in. They're just waiting for something that they're wanting at their size. Any questions from me? Yeah. Yep. So Muriel had asked, do I have a limit of individuals that can be on Early Advantage? And if so, where am I at with that? So that's a really good question. Okay. So we can have up to 50 people on Early Advantage here at Wesley on Grand. I do not want that. And I know that sounds like, what do you mean you don't want that? I don't want 50 people on that list because then it's not Early Advantage, right? I want individuals to get a call within a year that a unit has come open. So, really, my goal is I like to keep it really between 10 and 12 because even in the last couple months, we've moved in 6 people out of that Early Advantage. So that tells you, we've moved that many in. So now, you know, right now we have, I think, a total of 6. But then with our 2 new couples, we count them as 1 each on that Early Advantage. So that'll put us over 10. But yeah, correct. Yep. So Mary just said, okay, so the cost to the Early Advantage, that entrance fee that they put on the Early Advantage does come directly off of their entrance fee when they move in. So like if it's a couple, it's 50,000 per person to be on the Early Advantage, but 100% of that 100,000 comes off their entrance fee. So basically they're prepaying essentially. However, but the biggest piece of that is that they do have access to the community if and when they need it. I know, Rebecca, you were Early Advantage. I mean, you could probably even speak into that, but it's that peace of mind of knowing that if skilled care is needed or any other level living in the meantime, you have access. And that has happened with a couple that are moving in here in the next couple months. Husband needed skilled care. He came here for rehab and then he went home and then they're moving in here. So it's a really great program for that reason. I mean, I have right around 80 people on our regular wait list. So when you're looking at why we chose to go with the Early Advantage is because really logistically, it didn't make sense that a sales director is going through this long list touring all the time when we're wanting to move those units as fast as possible for you guys to get your entrance fee refund, but plus to have somebody be able to move in quickly. So that's a big piece of it. Yes. Say it again. Sorry. Like throughout our community, no, we're not 100% full right now. So the units we have open in independent living are ones like the 1 bedroom unit. Nobody on the Early Advantage wanted the 1 bedroom right now. So I'm working through our regular wait list on that one. Mm. I mean, we're not 100% full, but we're above budget or right at budget, if that's what you're meaning, throughout our whole community. Yep. Yes. We are no longer taking $1,000 for the regular wait list. It's truly, I call that's the regular wait list. It costs nothing to be on. Some folks do opt to do that, but the chances of getting a call for anything larger than a 1-bedroom it's rare. Very rare. And honestly, I haven't been able to do that in the last 3 years that this program has been intact. Any other questions for me? Good stuff? All right. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think I know everybody in the room, but if not, my name is Ryan Amundsen. I'm the Director of Wellbeing. So a few things I want to throw out there. And first, celebratory, we have no pool issues to report. So that feels weird. Yeah, so that's all going well. But over the next month, really, many of you may know, and I'm sure Damon's going to talk on it, Sanel is on vacation, visiting family. So it's just me for the pool now, not Sanel and I. So if there's any issues that come up with the pool, just let me know, and we'll work on resolving those as quick as possible. Okay, so the next couple things, this Thursday, kind of to piggyback off Amy's presentation, we are hosting a new resident fair. So that'll be in here at 2 o'clock. And so if you have any newer residents in your area, please invite them down. Our Wesley Neighbors group has sent some invitations out. We'll be also sending some to our assisted living residents that have moved in over the last few months. But even if you're not a new resident, it's still a good opportunity to come in and get information on the services we offer here at Wesley. So we'll have everything from dining to in-home services, the library group, resident council, the Wesley Neighbors group, all sorts of things that you can come get information on. But it is a really good tool for our newer residents. For those of you that remember what it was like to move in, it's like drinking from a fire hose, right? There's a lot of information. So this is an opportunity to get some of that information in a little bit of a slower pace and get the questions answered that you may have. So any new people in your area, please send them our way here in the auditorium on Thursday at 2 o'clock. Next up, coming up in August on the 26th, we are planning an iCubs outing for independent and assisted living residents. So we will have for sure 1 bus, 2 if we really need it. But if you're interested in that, let Megan know in the back. She just showed up. Perfect timing. But that'll be on the 26th. That is a noon game, I believe. So if you're interested in the iCubs game, let us know. We are purchasing a large number of tickets with the idea if we have extra tickets, we would like to invite some of your family members along for the trip as well. So let us know if you're interested, and possibly if a family member would be interested, let us know so we can get you on the list for that as well. Wednesday. It is a Wednesday. Between Megan and Ben, I knew I'd get that answer pretty quick. So yeah, the 26th is a Wednesday, a noon game for the iCubs. Something else I wanted to throw out there, and this is both to let you know this is happening, but also to get some feedback, particularly for our assisted living residents. We are planning on adding additional outings every single month going forward. We have successfully utilized both buses on the same day, which has been exciting, but that opens up a lot of flexibility for us, right? So additional outings, because I know we get full on some of Wiki's outings, we want to add some more. So whether it's restaurant outings, places around town, things like that, we want to make sure we're offering additional services just, into Central, Austin Center, and all that sort of stuff. So I bring that up not only as an announcement, but if you have thoughts, ideas, and suggestions of places you'd like to go, please let us know. Myself, Megan, let us know, and we will get that on the list and hopefully add to our current outing offering. Let's see here. Oh, the last thing, and this is a little bit more forward thinking, coming up in September on the 22nd. Yes, September 22nd. We are hosting a farmer's market here. And this time we are enlisting the help of our team members, residents, community fitness members, anybody affiliated with Wesley. We want to have a farmer's market. And if you have a particular item that you crafted, grew, you name it, if you want to sell an item, we'd love to have you on our farmer's market list. So we are currently in the process of getting vendors for that. And when I say vendors, it is our Wesley family, right? So we have several team members that have signed up or are planning on signing up. And we would love to have resident involvement on that, as well as our community fitness members. Now, if you don't have anything to sell, you are welcome to come buy the items, right? So that is coming up in September. So we're hoping to expand this farmers market to be a little bit of a bigger event this year. So if you're interested in that, or if you have a neighbor that's not here at this meeting that you know makes something amazing that you think should be there, or if they're a terrific baker, things like that, let us know and we'd love to get them on the list. Okay. All right. Those are my main things before I turn it off to Wiki. Any questions for me? Okay. Yes, Pat. So I will say, and Damon can piggyback off this if he'd like, but Pat's question was around keyless door entry. And I will say there are several doors over by the Grand, all the way down to this door here, door 3B, that have PIN codes on there. So instead of a fob, you can punch in a code and come in that way. So I believe that's what our campus currently has. I'll defer to Damon if there's future plans on that, but that's what we currently have here. Correct. Yep. Damon, do you know if there's keyless apartment entry across the organization yet? Not that we've been told yet. But that being said, I mean, there's a $50 million project wrapping up in Indianola right now. So maybe they're piloting something there. But currently, when it comes to your own apartment, that is not something that we have yet. Okay. Anything else for me? All right. Feels like so much less than last time we talked at Wesley Life Week, right? But with that, I know Wiki's got a few fun things coming up, so I'll pass the baton to her. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have as much to talk about this time either. It's lots going on. It's just constantly busy. But I do want to ask people to please come down and visit, gather, and gap. We have our usual people that come down, and I so appreciate their coming down and spending having some coffee and some ice cream down there. But we would like more people to come. And if you need questions answered of how to get there or when we're open, please call me or ask some of our volunteers. Carol and Catherine and others, Deanne's here as well, can help uh, facilitate that. So we would love you to bring down a group even. I know now this Thursday is the grand coffee down there, and I appreciate their coming down and spending some time the last Thursday of the month. But we would welcome other groups as well. So just let me know. We are open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9:30 to 11:30, and then again from 2 to 4. So please come and visit us. Also, we need extra volunteers, don't we, Deanne? She's one of our bestest volunteers down there. We do have a lot of outings this month. Coffee is at Homegrown this coming month. We are going to do. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm shooting myself in the foot. We are going to the state fair. Every year I lose somebody, but we are going to go and try it again this year. And we're going to go on the 13th, which is the opening day of the state fair. We are not going to do senior day. I found it's just too crowded and too many buses. So usually the first day of the fair is not as crowded. So we're going to go at 9 o'clock in the morning, come back somewhere around 1:30. Of course, this is all weather dependent. Today we would not be doing that, but we're going to assume it's going to be a lot nicer by then. So anyway, please, if you want to go though, let me know ahead of time. I will be getting the discounted tickets for you. That way we won't have to stand at the gate and pay as we go through. So if you wish to do that, I really do need to know ahead. And again, that is on opening day, which is the 13th. It's a Thursday. So, and it will be on your calendars in red. So just let me know if you want to go. Also, the lunch outing is at the Des Moines Arts Center this coming month. I talked to Kelly. She runs the food place there, and she is going to let us all in as a group on that day. If it's nice, we're going to be outside, which is what I would hope for. If not, we can switch it and put it inside if it's way too hot like this. So that's our outing for lunch. And of course, as Brian mentioned, the Iowa Cubs game, everybody is welcome to come to that. Just let us know, let one of the Megans know, or Ryan, and we'll get you on the bus for that one as well. Um, I have one unusual thing to say that Switchback is coming. I'm going to talk about the music programs we have this next month. Switchback is coming to Des Moines. They will be here on the 23rd. And this is not this coming month, but this would be September. I'm going to be confusing everybody. But the reason I'm telling you this is they are also going to be performing at the Ingersoll Dinner Theater. So, that being said, if I get a table of 10, we can offer discounted tickets to you. It's about $135. Don't quote me on this exactly per ticket. So I will let you know for sure the exact price. But um, I've all talked about going and trying that experience because many of us went years ago and haven't been back since. If you want to talk about a good experience there, please ask the DeVrieses. They got to go, and according to them, it was an amazing evening. They heard a pianist, but Switchback, as you know, is wonderful. So think about it. Let me know if you're interested, and I will make that happen. Other musicians, of course, is we do a band a month outside during the summer, if the weather permits. And this coming month, it's the Jazzers Dixieland Band, and Dean, who is our Wesley Life driver, is the drummer in the band, so he will be back. He's excited to be outside this time, so he will be here for that too. Jeff Kane, who is the NOLA Jazz Band, is going to do something very special, and he's going to try this for us. He is coming and bringing a pianist with him, and he's going to do the birthday party this month. This is something entirely new for him and for us as well. So be sure and come to the birthday party. He is an amazing musician, so I think you'll enjoy that. And David Blake will be back um, with the Unity Point Classic Ensemble. They come and do a Christmas show and they do a summer show, and they will be here on the 17th. And they're always a wonderful. It'll be an evening show at 6:30. Um, for educational purposes, I want you to know that KCCI political analyst Professor Dennis Goldford will be here to talk to us and that'll be the 10th, and that will be here from 10 to 11. Mary, yeah, 17th. Okay, we've moved it several times. So 17th. Okay, I've got it on my calendar, so I know that's right. It will be right on the calendar, I promise you. And he'll be here for coffee right from 10 to 11. So you don't want to miss that one. I'm sure it will be very interesting. And one thing the Megans are doing for us, and this is something new, they're going to try a tea time. And this will be kind of fun. It'll be tea time and trivia. They'll do little tea sandwiches in here, offer some various kinds of tea. So check your calendars for that. And that will be a Monday afternoon. It's Monday the 14th, I believe. But anyway, it will be on your calendar. So check that one out as well. Any questions, concerns? Okay. We'll see you all hopefully outside when it's nicer.
Not today. Okay, moving right along. Of course, we wrapped up another Wesley Life Week earlier this month. Always a highlight of our year. Been getting a lot of feedback about the week, but just wanted to see if anybody in here had any feedback specifically. I'll share what I've been hearing from a lot of team members and residents so far. We've talked about each specific event. Each event, the feedback's been kind of confirmed. It was very well received. The whole week was pretty positive. One suggestion that came out from residents and team members kind of often was the Family Feud that we've done in the past. You guys all remember that? Yeah, there were a number of residents and team members that'd like to see Family Feud brought back next year. And then when I asked them, I said, well, if we bring back Family Feud, which event would you carve out? And no one had an easy time answering that question because all the events that happened were pretty well received. So But pretty good feedback so far. But does anyone in this group, as we continue to analyze that, and we're already planning for next year, we're already doing that. So, any feedback about Wesley Life Week on what we could do differently, or was it just great? Good. Well, if you think of any ideas, doesn't have to be today. I mean, over the next 6 months, even, like I said, we're starting to put that vision together already. Kind of still analyzing the events of earlier in the month, but we've talked to quite a few. I mean, talked to a lot of you already. We've talked to a lot of the team members too, and some family members. So, gotten a lot of good feedback, and it seemed to be very well received. So, one last time, I just want to thank everybody who helped plan that, everybody who participated. It really takes a team to pull a week like that off. It was a lot of fun. Um, Now I'll shift to a plant operations update, which over the next couple of months, we'll do that every month to keep you updated where we are in our transition. If there's anyone out here who has not heard this news, I think it's pretty widespread, but Joseph Thomas Gavin was born on July 15th. So Bailey and baby are doing great. She sent me a picture. He's absolutely adorable. So that's great news. Bailey's already talking about possibly coming back part time much earlier, but we're kind of shushing her and saying just enjoy your maternity leave, and we'll talk after your maternity leave. So not quite sure when she'll be back with us, or she might phase in part time at first and go back to full time after the maternity leave is exhausted. But we'll keep you updated on that piece. We're trying not to bug her. I will admit I did bug her one time for a question we needed an answer on. So, and she answered within seconds and was a huge help. So, but Bailey's doing great. She wanted me to tell you all hi. Sanel left for Bosnia this weekend, so he is there for 5 weeks. He was saying, "Man," he goes, "if you really need me to stay, I can stay." And we were like, "No, get over there and see your family." So he'll be there for 5 weeks. Sanel typically, these Bosnia trips, he tends to not take any time off the whole year. Then he takes it all in one swing when he's able to get back to Sarajevo and go see his family. So he was excited to get back there. Like Bailey, he kept stressing he's easily reachable with today's technology. So we're going to try not to bug him, but hopefully we can keep that promise. But he'll be back. I think it's the last day. I think August 31st is a Monday he'll be back. But this is the first of 5 weeks that he'll be out of pocket for us. Um, in the meantime, I want to point out Snell spent a lot of time grooming Alex to kind of get him ready for this stretch of time. And so he's going to be stepping up big time for us, which we appreciate. And also, someone who's really stepped up significantly is Randy. He has assumed the supply ordering that was formerly held by Bailey. And medical and maintenance, housekeeping supplies, that's a very large spend monthly here, as you can imagine. But he's taken that piece over and learned our new purchase order system called NetSuite, which a lot of us are still learning to master that. It's interesting, but it'll be good once we become masters of it. But all the little projects that tend to pop up with buildings, we have all kinds of ages of buildings here, different heating and cooling systems, different piping, you name it. When we had that hard storm last Monday, as you'll recall, it just poured, the winds were strong and everything. We had a few issues in our Austin Center building over here where enhanced living and memory care are, and we had a few rooms that where the windows needed to be resealed, had a little bit of drywall repair work to be done. And Randy was just all over it, getting the vendors in, getting the bids in, and getting the necessary information to me and others for approvals and all that. So he's really stepping up too. So if you see Randy and Alex out there, give them a pat on the back. They're really stepping up and helping us a lot during this stretch. Ed continues to work remotely. He's been very active today. I think he and I were emailing at 6 in the morning, so we were both online, and we got a lot done before 8 o'clock even, and we've had several more emails since 8 o'clock. So he's not here physically, but he's able to contribute significantly on Mondays through Thursdays when he's doing his full-time therapy gig. And he will be here on Fridays, of course. So he also said to tell you hi, and he'll see you this Friday. So he misses everybody. So that's where we're at on plant ops at the moment. Um, excuse me. One thing that gets asked also, has anything changed as far as if you have a need or anything? Nothing's changed. Continue to use the 6700 maintenance phone number. Works Hub, the maintenance phone number, all that stuff, it still works the same. It's just there's some times where different people are carrying the phone, but in how we process our work order tickets, it all works the same. Some of you text or come to me, that's fine. I make sure those get into Works Hub, or if it's a quick fix, get someone up to your apartment or over to your apartment. But the process is the same as before this transition started. So, in summary, Sunel will be back in 5 weeks. Bailey, somewhere in the next 2.5 months. And then Ed will be working Fridays and remotely until Bailey gets back. He'll have a little bit of an overlap with her just to hand off the baton and everything and be available for questions. So we set Bailey up for success right out of the gates. So, any questions on all that? Okay, we appreciate everybody's patience. We're doing our best to keep up with some of the issues that came up with the big storm and also the excessive heat, but all the boxes seem to be getting checked, so really appreciate everybody's effort there. Another thing, just again, third and fourth floor in Central, I get questions once in a while. We do have demo work going on in both of those big super suites, as we call them, our two biggest units here at the community. That demo is continuing. They've made really good progress on the third floor in Central on the demo work up there, and they're just getting to fourth now. So going to be hear some banging and pounding up there for a little while. We can hear it down by my office and surrounding areas too. So that's just one of those necessary evils of those apartments had two very long-term residents in there renting those. So when that happens, sometimes the units need a full, what we call a unit turn, to be modernized. And these two unit turns are about as excessive as they get. I think one unit will be done in November. I think the second one in December. So, but once the demo is done, the noise situation will improve. So just wanted to update everybody on that. Another thing that some people will be excited about, we will be processing orders for new benches across the community this Friday. This is something we talked about with the resident council. We've been talking about it for a while with all of the capital things we've been doing this year and last year. We're ordering this Friday, so the expenditure will fall into the month of August because we want to spread that capital spend out as best we can throughout the year. But hopefully we'll have those within a week or two after order, and you'll see them in strategic places throughout the community. So when you're out walking, which we love to see, you'll have more options for brand new benches to sit on. So I think you'll really like those. A huge thing that happened last week, we had one of our favorite weeks of the year. The Department of Inspections and Appeals walked in unannounced on Monday for our annual survey. You hear us talk about this quite a bit, but so this is where they come in. We had 3 surveyors this year. It's unannounced, and they're here to inspect our health center, which is the most heavily regulated by far part of our operation. The amount of documentation and just, I could talk for an hour about it. It's just really, there's a lot to document when you run a health center to stay within compliance. And also, for good reasons, resident satisfaction, family satisfaction is huge. And there's just all kinds of things they do. So they came in on Monday. They were visiting with residents a lot, visiting with families a lot. And just right when they come in the door, they pounce on our kitchen, because you've got no warning, right? They come in and you don't have time to, oh my God, we better clean this or do that. That's why you have to act like every day you should have a high standard. So survey is if you don't have that high standard every day, when they walk in, they will chop you up. And I know plenty of ED friends of mine that have had that happen. So fortunately, our team maintains that standard. They were here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and half of Thursday. And after the week was said and done, it was very comprehensive, but they exited Thursday afternoon with 2 very minor clinical tags in our health center, which is an excellent outcome, way above the state average as far as tags go. Deficiencies, tags, kind of interchangeable terms there. And another strong indicator of the quality of our health center and the quality of care that our residents receive. This is really important, obviously, because that's our highest acuity residents in the health center, to know that they're getting great care and their care outcomes. And, they're looking at skin issues, they're looking at falls, they're looking at all kinds of things that we have to document, care plan for, and have plans for. And they look at a lot. And so to get through a survey unscathed, I think for the fourth year in a row now, definitely the third, because the 2 previous years we had 0 tags. That is quite a strong statement of the quality of our health center. So I think everybody should take comfort in that, none of us know if someday we might need that high level of care. Um, People like to hope that they don't, but if you do, you can have peace of mind to know that our health center is a 5-star, high quality health center. And there's a lot of things that prove it, but inspection after inspection confirms it. So we're very proud of the team. I would have had Jack, our administrator, join us today, but he's taking a breather right now. When you're an administrator and go through the survey process, you need a heck of a break afterwards. So he headed home to the eastern side of the state Friday or late Thursday afternoon, and he'll be back tomorrow. So he's getting a well-deserved breather. But if we could, a nice round of applause for our health center team. That's a tremendous accomplishment. And also, I might add, resident care is the most important thing, but continually maintaining being a 5-star community and confirming that our health measures are all accurate and at the highest grade, that helps us tremendously with maintaining our status as the #1 referral system, #1 referral community for our hospital referral system. That is huge because that means the people coming in for rehab, we're getting more referrals than anybody else. So that's to be leading the Des Moines Metro network and all of that. That's a huge accomplishment, and we've had that now for a few years, and we have every intention of keeping it that way. So we're very competitive. That's very important to our business model and everything. So feeling really good about that. One last thing I want to share is another thing that we're planning already is the Christmas lights. We're excited about it. Those of you that were here a few years ago might recall that we had the drive-through Christmas event. You guys remember that, where you came in on the west side and did the big loop around and came out the east side, and yours truly was sitting with real reindeer in my Santa costume. I'm a little skinnier now, but my HR director, who dumped ice cream on my head a couple weeks ago, told me that no, you can still do it. You just need a pillow. So sounds like I'm going to be doing that again. But anyway, we're just starting to plan that seriously now, but we want it to be bigger and better than the one a few years ago. So we're really excited about it. So we'll probably be seeking your feedback as we move forward with those plans. So that's something everybody can look forward to in December. It'll be really pretty out here, and we'll have probably a big event or two for the community with hot chocolate and candy canes and everything, and team members who want to bring their kids and any of your family members and grandkids and stuff can come too. And then it's also pretty cool because I think last time we left it up for about a week, and we had people were coming from quite a ways to see it. So in town here, so that was really cool. So that will be coming back, and we want to do that bigger than before. The question was asked earlier about keyless entries in communities. I think that was you, wasn't it, Pat, that asked that question? That's something I'll have to check on. We were wondering about one of our communities out east called the Summit at Bettendorf. I can't recall. I've toured it. I don't recall that about their doors, but that's a question I can ask. It's not on the radar for this year. That's something that's kicked up a couple times here in the last probably 3 or 4 years as a suggestion. I do know executive directors at other companies that have those, and they do have their pros and cons. And those are things we can talk about, through resident council and other means. So it's an interesting thing to think about. So with doors, there's no system that doesn't have pros and cons, but especially in some of the new builds, you will see the keyless entry. So just like a hotel. So that is out there in the industry and within the competition. And then is our guest still back here? Yes. Even though you promised me you wouldn't ask a question today, but I guess you didn't ask me, so you kept your promise. You kept your No, I'm just messing with you. But just so I understood your question correctly, when you said, is your census break even? I assume what you meant is, are we hitting budget? So yes, so his question was, when he was asking Amy, are you at the break even point? Are you hitting budget? I'm happy to say for the third year in a row, yes, we are. Our budget this year was around about 95.2% consolidated, and we have been consistently above that. We've been touching 97, 98% a lot of days. You know, like Amy said, with early advantage and everything, one of the challenges we're having is we got people kind of bummed that they can't get an apartment here. So we're kind of managing that process now, where we have to manage a wait list. So the health center is really critical to again, I mentioned how important that is to our business model. When you have a lot of people coming in here for rehab, that is a tremendous payer source and everything. But also those residents discharged to home health and eventually sometimes outpatient therapy. And then if they have a good experience here, which a high percentage of them do, they're often moving back here when the time comes, or they're a referral for a friend. So that's really important too. But the health center has stayed. We have a lot of days where we're at 80 out of 80. Typically, we're between 77 out of 80 and 80 out of 80. And the only reason we have availability over there is because we run about 18 to 22 residents on rehab. Their length of stay is about 18 to 20 days, typically on average. So that's your admit and discharge process happening. So we have a set amount of rehab beds, as we call them, and a resident discharges. Then we slate that room for another rehab resident. And sometimes the hospital discharge process isn't an exact science, as you can imagine. Why, if someone's post-stroke or post-surgical or whatever, sometimes we're planning on them on a Monday. They don't get here till a Wednesday. But one thing I always tell our residents and families, this question comes up often. If you have a hospital stay or a need for our health center, no matter what the wait list is or what the vision is for incoming, you go to the front of the line. So we take care of our own first. So sometimes the only time that's a challenge is if there's 2 or 3 of our own that need a bed. But honestly, we always figure it out. I don't really remember the last time where I had it happen to me a few times in Colorado, but here it's happened only a couple times since I've been here. So the nice thing, when you go into the hospital, we're working with the hospital. Our liaisons are keeping track of the situation right when you admit. So based on diagnosis and everything that we have access to and communicating with you and your family, we've got a pretty good estimate of when you will have a short-term stay need. And we're projecting that based on our discharges of our current rehab residents. And then, a sad part of what we do sometimes is we'll surprisingly and sometimes not surprisingly have a resident pass, which will also open a bed too. But no, Jack and his team have that down to a science. So, but sometimes residents and families get worried about that. Would mom or dad can you promise me they'll get in? I stop short of promising, but I'll say it's very, very, very unlikely that we wouldn't get them in. So just a question I get quite often. Okay, that was a lot. There were other things I could have talked about, but there's a lot going on here, so I'll open myself up to any questions. And if you don't have any questions for me like you did for these guys, that's okay too. I knew I wouldn't get away with that. Yes. Were they warm before the big heat wave? Were they? Yeah, those are, her question was the portable air conditioners that we would put in the commons. They're commonly referred to as swamp coolers, where you have the whatchamacallit going out the window and everything. But yes, we have deployed those in the past. So if that's a need, the forecast is supposed to, if you looked at it, it's supposed to get markedly better tomorrow. But that's absolutely something we can do. So yes, we've done that probably about every summer since I've been here. We've done that at least once or twice. Um, so good question. So I'll take a look at that and I'll talk to Ed about it.
So I will say, Susan, real quick. So I've been asked about the same thing, and a lot of those that you've seen in storage usually keep several on hand in case, like the health center, if those rooms ever need it, we can get something in there quick to cool those off too. So I've talked to maintenance about that. It's, well, so that's the reason why a lot of those are sitting there. So that way we don't have to take it from somewhere if somebody needs their room cooled.
But yes, that's an option we can use and have used in the past. So good question. Hopefully we don't see weather like we've seen the last few days and what we saw a couple weeks ago. That was pretty brutal. So good question. Anything else today? Oh, sorry, Paul. Yeah, a little bit. Was yeah. Thank you. Paul was sharing that he went over to visit a friend, one of our residents. Due to HIPAA, I'm not. Well, it's Pat Bear. I could say the name. You all know she's over there anyway. So, huh? Yeah, yeah. HIPAA prohibits me from saying that, but it's no secret. But anyway, he went over to visit Pat Bear recently and was amazed that it was the same building that he himself stayed in 2020. Now, I have to ask though, back in 2000, the health center is markedly improved since 2020. Yeah, it's a great place. It's a great place over there. And your experience in 2020, was that during COVID? Yeah, see, that was one of the problems back then is with the COVID restrictions, we couldn't run it the way we wanted to. Yeah. Yep. 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 If anyone here or you know anybody that stayed over in our health center during COVID, our health center and any other health center, as you'll recall, I couldn't even go in there. I mean, just, those of us that weren't doing a physical service over there, clinical service, we couldn't even go in that building. I mean, it was that strict. Visitors couldn't come in. And just the amount of PPE we were sawing through that the team members had to wear and how we had to isolate, it was tough all the way around. It was toughest for our residents, anybody that stayed there with COVID. Yeah. Yeah, our physical therapists have always been really good. I mean, the company we contract with now is called Aegis, but it's a lot of the same people. It's a lot of the same therapists we had before the transition from the former company. But we consider our therapists to be our team members, even though they're contracted. And sometimes people ask me why they're contracted, and it's just with therapy, it's complicated, but we don't have the caseload to justify going in house. So when it's contracted, we can control the hours that they're working here based on the therapy diagnosis and everything. But if they were our team members, then they'd be wanting 40-hour work weeks. It's complicated. Someday, if the volume were to say get in maybe the lower mid 30s, we could go in house with therapy. That's a whole other area. But thanks for the feedback. I'm glad you liked what you saw over there. If you haven't been to our health center, or if you know Pat, over there right now. I mean, it's feedback over there. It's a pretty special place. The caregivers, I mean, the activities team over there, the residents are kept active and engaged. They get great care. And, you know, the survey process absolutely was very affirming around that. So we were really, you can't hear that too much. So we were really excited about that for everybody's sake. So thanks, Paul. Any more questions? Okay, I would ask before we go that with our plan ops situation, and that's not the right word, transition, if you have any needs or whatever, don't be shy. I mean, you know, a number of you will poke me, and I'm totally cool with that. Just let us know. There's a lot of things going on that we're keeping up with, Randy and Alex and Ed when he's here on Fridays. But if there's something where there's a hiccup somewhere, don't be shy, and most of you aren't. Just please let us know. We appreciate it when you do. So if there's nothing else. Thank you for coming, and please be careful in the heat today. Weather gets much better tomorrow. So, all right. Thanks, guys.